Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Hitting the Hardwood podcast, your home for all the latest Minnesota Lynx and WNBA news, analysis, and coverage. Thank you for tuning into another episode this week. I'm your host, Mitchell Hansen, and this week I'm really excited to be joined by none other than former number 2 overall draft pick in the 2023 WNBA Draft, Lynx rookie Diamond Miller. Diamond was able to sit down and take some time out of her schedule to chat with me about how things are going in her rookie campaign, how things are going in the season, as we get closer to the end of the regular season here, leading up into the postseason. We kind of dive into how she thinks her season's going, some learning adjustments that took place. Obviously, she dealt with an injury early on in the season, and that kind of allowed her to kind of take a step back and look at things from a different lens, which he talks about in the podcast. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast with Diamond Miller. It was a really great conversation with her to talk about all things Lynx, talk about her personally, how she thinks both she's doing and the team is doing. So without further ado, let's jump right into things with Diamond Miller. Diamond, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, and hopefully everything's going well so far this season. I guess we'll kind of start there. How are things going for you?
I think the season's going well. I feel like I'm constantly learning every day, and we're just trying to make it to playoffs. So we're in a good spot right now, and we're trying to finish strong.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to you specifically, how would you? Obviously, the year's not over with yet, but how would you evaluate your season so far? How would you assess how you've been doing so far to this point in the season?
I feel like I have kind of like a weird roller coaster, but not roller coaster season. Because right now I'm like these last couple of games haven't been my best game, but like I still have confidence and I still know I could put the ball in the hoop. I just, some games be like that. But when I look back, I mean, I got rookie of the month 1 month. So I feel like that's a celebration in itself. But just constantly developing is something that I really focus on and getting better. So I'm grinding, I'm working hard, getting stronger, and trying to get better in the basketball court and still recovering while still playing games. It's like a huge adjustment, but it's exciting and I just love what I do. So I'm enjoying the process, that's for sure.
Was that something that maybe you anticipated happening or kind of expected coming into the season, kind of that roller coaster ride that you talked about, or was it maybe, did you think it might be a little bit different in that transition to the WNBA?
Did I expect I knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge just because I never played this many games in this short amount of time ever in my life. So how would my body recover and stuff like that I knew that was going to be an adjustment. But overall, I feel like the adjustment has been challenging, but not impossible. I don't feel some days I might be confused, but other days I'm like, okay, I get it. I got it. So it's just kind of like that balance that I'm still focusing on of like the learning, but like still like the balance between getting better and balancing getting better and stuff like that, but also realizing that I have certain skills that I could use and be confident and stuff like that. So it's kind of
Right.
weird.
Did you kind of, a lot of rookies or a lot of players kind of, they talk about having that, like that I made it moment, or that moment where they realize like, hey, I'm here. Did you have that kind of moment? Was it maybe your first game? Was there a specific moment throughout the year that maybe, that came up for you?
I think there was moments when we play certain teams and I feel like I could compete strongly with really talented players from different teams. That's where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm in the WNBA.
You had talked about
And
too earlier in the season of, just your mindset of, you belong here. You've talked about that in the past, that you have that confidence that, okay, I belong here. I belong in the WNBA. I'm, among the talented, players in this league and in the world. I guess, where does that mindset come from for you? Have you always had that mindset of, having that confidence, having that, kind of that comfortability of being, having that sense of belonging, I guess, among, some of the top players in the league?
I think it just comes from like my background of like my family. I'm a
Mhm.
middle child, so I was always fighting for attention and showing my parents, "Hey, I'm here." So I think from that mentality just kind of carried over, and I was just constantly confident in myself because sometimes I couldn't get the same amount of attention because my mom was focusing on my sister or little brother. So sometimes you just have to find your own confidence within yourself, and I think that kind of carried over through
Mhm.
my adulthood.
What kind of I guess what changed, if anything, from the beginning of the year till now, whether it be mentality wise or maybe your skill set, your game. I guess where have you noticed the most growth, individually or as a skill set from the beginning of the year till now?
I think I'm still figuring that out,
Hmm.
obviously, but I think something I realized is like the bump finishes and stuff. I've been working on that a little bit more. And yeah, just trying to get to the basket easier. And like there's details that we've been practicing that to help better my games. It's just simple stuff like staying low when I dribble and stuff like that. Just really focusing on the fundamentals of the game, just the simple details that nobody really thinks about, but are super important. And that's where I'm trying to really tighten up on. So yeah, I'm learning a lot, put it that way.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
you talked about, I think it was maybe even a week or two ago. You had talked about, kind of, or it was brought up where you're expanding to your game. Maybe earlier in the season it was a little bit more scoring, where now you're really starting to develop the rebounding and assists. Playing in the post a little bit more maybe. It was always there, but now it's kind of excelled and kind of added to your game. Is that something that you've experienced? Is trying to focus on different ways to be an all-around player and kind of balance those performances.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think one thing about me is that I'm so versatile that there's a lot of things that I can do, which is really good, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of hard work as
Mhm.
well to being able to like balance like the working out of that because you can't work out all that stuff at one time. So that's why we've kind of backtracked a little bit and focus on the fundamentals because once you have those things then the other stuff become easier and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I think it is all going to come together, and I'm still a rookie, so it's just exciting to know that I have so much potential. But yeah, I'm very
Mhm.
diverse.
Mhm.
I have a lot that I can do. Now is more details and sharpening up all the edges.
Yep, yep, absolutely. When, kind of going back to the beginning of the year, you obviously played those first 5 games or a handful of games, then you went down with the ankle injury. I guess, if you could talk a little bit about, what that experience was like for you, and secondly, did it kind of allow you to maybe take a step back and view the game from a different lens and kind of from a different perspective to continue to learn the system and just the WNBA game in general?
Yeah, obviously, getting injured is not what I predicted for my rookie year. It's not something probably anybody predicts. But when I went down, it actually hurt me a little bit because I felt like I was just starting to like understand the concept of what the team wanted me to do. And then I got hurt. So that was kind of like a bummer. But watching the game from a different lens was really helpful for me. So I got to see how I could contribute without being physically on the court. And I think that was one thing. Just seeing the game from a different perspective is something you don't want, obviously, but sometimes it's something that you need. And
Mhm.
it was kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest.
Yeah. For you, what is, and I mentioned obviously the season's not over yet, but what is maybe one of the most valuable things that you've already learned so far, in your rookie campaign? Is it maybe, something from how to handle yourself every day to, taking care of your body, like you mentioned, or is it anything on the court? What's maybe the top thing that you've learned?
The top thing I'm gonna do on the court is just
Mhm.
consistency, being able to do what you do every night. It's really impressive for the ladies that can do it. And obviously I'm not there yet, but I really want to get to that point where I'm just consistent every night. Like every night, you know what I'm going to bring to the table. And that's is really exciting. It's like that's something I realize is so important in the W is the consistency levels and stuff like because you play so many games, but that's not an excuse not to be consistent.
Absolutely. What do you feel like maybe you've already expanded upon most in your rookie season? Areas of growth that you've seen the most in your first year.
Yeah, I'm definitely shooting the three a little bit more than what I did in college, especially my senior year of college. I wasn't shooting it as much. But now, when I feel like I have it, I'm shooting it with confidence, which is something that I've been working on. Obviously, I still need to work on my three, but it's exciting when it goes in because
Mm-hmm.
that's all my hard work and it's showing. So it's really fun. But yeah, definitely something I'm happy about is just being able to like uh, catch and shoot the ball without no hesitation.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that you planned to work on this year, or was that something that maybe you were faced with with the presence in the paint or just a kind of different game situations? What I guess what was the reason for that?
I guess a little bit of both. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I knew I could shoot the three. I'm very capable. I just college I didn't do it that much, but I know I could.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now that I mean there's trees down there. So if the three is open, I might as well take it.
Three is better than two.
Yeah, right.
um, what's one thing that you weren't expecting maybe that you learned this year that is valuable that you use today?
I think one thing is the balance of between basketball and your other life outside of basketball
Mm-hmm.
is so important to have. I need to first, yeah, take care of my body, do all that stuff, but also make time for my family and friends and stuff and finding the balance so I don't let basketball overpower my life.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's my job. Yes, it's my passion. I love doing basketball, but I also have to make sure I have a balance for my family and friends to make sure I'm still present in their lives. So
Yeah.
that's something I realized I had a challenge. It was easier in college because I was like, Mom, I have homework,
Yeah.
but now I have no homework. So I need to make time for my family. That's for sure.
Now you have no excuses. You
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
You had talked about your winning rookie of the month, which congratulations, by the way. Do you when it comes to the rookie of the year race, is that something that you pay attention to? Is that something you want to try and win? Is that anything that you pay attention to, or doesn't it really matter to you?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I feel like the award is amazing. Whoever wins it, congrats. If I win it, I'm going to be happy, whatever the case may be. But that's not my goal. I
Mhm.
mean, it's not something that really excites me. What excites me is my development. I don't my outside things like trophies and stuff, that stuff really doesn't excite me. It's when I grind every day, that excites me. When I finally hit five threes in a row in a workout, like that stuff excites me more than a trophy. So, you know,
Mhm.
kudos to whoever wins. I'm happy if it's me. And if it's not me, I'm still going to be happy because at the end of the day, it's me versus me, no matter what.
Mhm. Kind of to shifting focus to the team. I guess what are your thoughts on where you guys are at right now? I mean, you're in the middle of a playoff, in the middle of the playoff picture, which maybe not a lot of people expected after kind of the bumpy start to the season, but you guys are right there, and you have a chance to get a decent seed. What are your thoughts on where the team's at right now?
I think we're in a dogfight right now. I mean, losing LA definitely hurt us. And uh, we're just trying to mesh again. And I feel like we're in a place where we could do play so much better than what we're playing right now. So I just feel like if we just get it all together again, we'll be okay. And just details of rebounding, all that stuff. If we just bring it all together, we're gonna be fine because we have done it in the past. Now we just gotta bring it back. So
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
overall, with 9 games left in the season, I feel like we're very in a confident place. We just need to tweak certain things, of course.
yeah. What's it been like, chemistry wise with the team? Is that something that you've seen grown throughout the season?
Yeah, I definitely agree that that's something. chemistry definitely has grown because I just remember in the beginning I didn't even know what type of moves these girls were gonna do. I was just like, well, okay, I didn't know that's what she wanted to do. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I know she's about to drive left or she's gonna shoot that shot. Like you just know certain things. You just pick up on certain things the more you play with one another. So yeah, it is very exciting to see the chemistry grow.
Hmm. Is it kind of cool to see it from a rookie standpoint of the foundation that's in place with the Lynx? Obviously, you don't want to look beyond this season yet because you're in the middle of the season, but there is a very bright future with you, with Nafisa, with Dorka, and many others. But
Mhm.
that foundation is there, and is that exciting for you to see that and to continue to be a part of that growth of the team moving forward?
Yeah, I think it is. I think the fact that we have so much potential is really exciting. And now we just have to live it up, obviously.
Hmm.
But not thinking ahead, but it is exciting to know that if we put in the work that we need to put in these off seasons, that we're going to be really, really good in the future.
Hmm.
And right now, we're still really good, and we're just getting started. Like me and Dirk are just getting our feet wet. So imagine when we actually understand the system and everything that goes in with being a WNBA player, and the game is completely slowed down, how much better we are going to be. So.
Hmm. What's it been like for you, kind of learning under Fee and just kind of having her as that kind of mentor role as you're coming into the league and going through your first year?
Yeah, Fee has been wonderful, to be honest. She's just a really good presence in my life, and I didn't know I needed her until I came here because she's like, I'm more of an emotional player and she's more poised, but like that poise is so powerful, especially when the team is kind of like a little wonky. We just not having it together. She's like, guys, we're good. And it's just like certain things you need to hear, especially when the emotions are getting a little crazy in the game and stuff like that. But no, she has been amazing. All the vets have for real, for real. Like they've just been carrying me like a baby, I guess, and telling me the strings, the in and outs of the W, and trying to help me as much as possible.
Hmm. That's great. When it comes to just being in Minnesota, being around the Lynx fans, what has that been like for you? I jokingly say this, and I say this in the nicest way possible, but Lynx fans are crazy, and that's great, and they're a good kind of crazy, but they're a very passionate fan base, and I guess what's your experience been like with in Minnesota and with the Lynx fans?
I feel like personally they have been wonderful. I mean,
Hmm.
they're one of the best six men we have in the WNBA, and they take their role very seriously, which is what they should do. And, we both have jobs. They're supposed to cheer us on and wish us the best of luck, and we're supposed to perform. So you get it when things don't go how they want it, but we're human too, so yeah,
Hmm.
I think they'll understand. But yeah, they've been great. And like sometimes I'm walking in the street and like I'll say hi to people, take pictures. They're really loving and they're really happy to have me here, which is good.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Diamond, I appreciate you taking some time to sit down and chat with me about your first year and everything in between. I speak for a lot of fans and a lot of people. It's been a pleasure to cover you this season and join you or to follow you so far, and it's a pleasure having you in Minnesota and as a member of Lynx. So I appreciate you joining. Looking forward to the rest of the season and many years to come. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you once again to Diamond for joining me on the podcast this week. I was lucky to be able to sit down with her and get a one-on-one sit down and interview with her. So I really appreciate her taking some time to chat all things Lynx and to join me on the podcast. It's always a blast to get former athletes, anybody from the team, former athletes, current athletes, or anybody from that covers the WNBA. But especially, it's really unique to get current players, current coaches to kind of get that aspect of things rather than looking at things from the outside. So once again, thank you to Diamond for taking some time and being a great guest on this week's Hitting the Hardwood podcast. I also want to give a shout out to Jeremy Rushing. Jeremy does a great job in producing this podcast for us every week. He does a great job to make me sound better than I probably do otherwise. So thank you, Jeremy, for all of your support and all of your help in making the Hitting the Hardwood podcast happen every week. Really appreciate all that you do. I also want to bring up our Patreon page. I do this every week, but I want to bring up a Patreon. It's a unique kind of avenue to be able to get exclusive content that no one else does. I save a lot of the stuff that I want to share just to our patrons, because they're giving back to me. I want to give back to them. I want to make it worthwhile. You get early access to podcasts, bonus content. You get news that no one else does. You get discounts at the Hitting the Hardwood store, which you should also check out. And a lot of great gear at the Hitting the Hardwood store. But there's plenty more. You can offer your suggestions. Anybody that has a suggestion, future podcast guests that they want to have on the podcast, anything that I'm not doing well, or maybe something I am doing well that you want me to continue or change up, feel free to let me know. And you can do that as our valued patron and in Hitting the Hardwood Patreon community. So please go check that out. It's patreon.com/Hitting the Hardwood. I also want to give a big shout out to our two partners, our two sponsors at Hitting the Hardwood, as they've been all season long or all year long. Two really great partners that I'm excited to continue to work alongside and to partner with, and they have a lot of great stuff that you should be able to check out, or that you should check out, so please go check them out. The first one is Homage, second one Better Edge. Two really plugged in people to the sports world. We'll start with Homage. Homage offers a lot of great vintage gear, a lot of vintage clothing, shirts, sweatshirts, WNBA gear, any other sport, kind of vintage or older style merchandise, as well as new modern style merchandise. Specifically for the WNBA, they do a lot of a variety of clothing items throughout the year, but kind of their staple is doing the basic logo shirts. And I shouldn't say basic, but they're kind of basic, but they're some of my favorite clothing items that I have. They're extremely comfortable. I have the Lynx hoodie, I have the Lynx t-shirt, and I have the WNBA t-shirt, and it's some of my my favorite clothing items that I own. So please go check them out. Homage, HOMAGE.com. Go check out their gear and purchase something through their website today. You can go check out on social media. There are two special URLs. If you click on those and you purchase something, it doesn't cost you anymore. It doesn't cost anybody anymore. But a percentage of that purchase in that order comes back to support Hitting the Hardwood. So please go check that out. I really appreciate anything you can do at Homage. And the second one, as I mentioned, is Better Edge. That's BETTOR Edge. You can go check them out at betteredge.com, BETTOREdge.com. If you are a first-time user in betting, you can go check out betteredge.com/Lynx. Use a promo code Lynx, LYNX, and you get a free $20 to play with. I really enjoy Better Edge. I've used it all season long. I've used it even before this season. On the WNBA, on any other sport, you can bet by yourself. You can bet against others. You can bet with friends. You can do competitions. You can do really anything. Better Edge is really user-friendly. It's a great platform, and you should go check them out. So like I said, go check out Better Edge, BETTOREdge.com. They're doing a lot of great stuff. They partner with a lot of local companies, a lot of local businesses, other podcasts. So they're a great Minneapolis-based company that you should all go support and check out. So go check out Better Edge whenever you have a chance. And you can also come take my money when I do competitions. I do pick-em competitions quite frequently throughout the WNBA season. I'll continue to do them probably beyond. I'll do them in the playoffs. I'll do them year-round. But come take my money. Why not? I oftentimes lose. And that's your gain. So come take my money. And if you sign up a first-time user, as I mentioned, you get $20 in free play. It costs $1 to do the competitions that I normally do. So you have plenty of money to play with. It's essentially free money. So go check that out, betteredge.com and betteredge.com/Lynx. I also want to bring up our Hitting the Hardware store that I mentioned earlier. Hitting the Hardwood has a lot of, Hitting the Hardwood gear. It's, anything from tank tops to sweatshirts to t-shirts to long sleeve shirts to mugs to pint glasses to magnets to stickers to really any hats, anything you can think of. And if there isn't something on there that you want to have made, I can do custom orders. We can do custom orders at Hitting the Hardwood. Feel free to send us an email at hittingthehardwood@gmail.com. Whether that's with the store, whether that's with any suggestions, feedback, anything that you can think of, please send us a email, and we're happy to chat. And if you know somebody who wants to partner with Hitting the Hardwood, feel free to send them to our website, to send them to our email address, hittingthehardwood@gmail.com, and happy to chat and happy to start those conversations. So with that said, I want to thank you for tuning into another episode of Hitting the Hardwood. It's a really exciting time, as we're getting down to the stretch towards the end of the regular season. We're down to single digits now. In the regular season, the Lynx are inching closer to a playoff berth, and they have a legit shot at being a top 5 team in the WNBA playoffs. And I think that's something that not many people would have expected at the beginning of the year, especially after the 0-6 start. But Minnesota is hitting their stride. Their chemistry is great. They've gotten some big wins here as of late that have helped with their positioning and their seeding in the standings, and they hope to continue that. I think they'll continue to ride this wave as long as they possibly can, depending on who they get in the first round of the playoffs. But this is a team that is on the up and up right now, and there's only room for growth. Not looking beyond this season, but there's room for growth beyond this season and into the future. So things are looking up for the Lynx. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the podcast going. It'll return every week as it has all season long. But once again, thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you listening, supporting the podcast, supporting Hitting the Hardwood. I really enjoy doing this every week, and I enjoy providing all of this content in a different form than I ever have before. So thank you for allowing me to do what I do. Thank you for allowing me to do what I really enjoy to do. And I hope you guys also enjoy listening, enjoy my content, whether it's written form or wherever else it may be. So thank you once again for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys all next week.